What philosophy do you mess with the most? And I'm not asking about your favorite character, whether you like them or not, or oh, I like it because it's Isagi, or I like it because it's Hugo. No, no, no. What inside of you genuinely makes your heart burn? That's the question we're going to be answering today with Hugo's philosophy of the number two and Ego's philosophy of selfish desire. Now, we're going to start with Ego. From the very beginning of Blue Lock, he's talked about your selfish desire. What do you want? To be the best? To climb the corporate ladder? To be rich? All these things that humans desire is naturally selfish.
They can't be right. Someone who will climb atop 299 corpses. A solitary hero.
I can't do it. I'm no one. I've achieved nothing.
Picture the scene. You've made it all the way to the World Cup final. 80,000 people in the stands. You down on the field. The score is 0-0 in the second half of extra time. It's the last play. With a pass from your teammate, you're through the defense. You against the goalkeeper. 6 meters to the right is your teammate. If you pass, your team's guaranteed to score a goal. The championships, the hope of a nation, they're all riding on you. Only an insane egoist could take that shot without a second's hesitation. Now pass through and be transformed. Discard your common sense. Remember, out there on the field, you're the star.
This is the opposite of everything I've been taught.
Nothing should bring you more joy than your own goals. Live only for that glorious moment. And if you can't, then you're no striker at all.
I am a striker! Isagi, what are...
I'll play your dumb game, shithead! Yeah, me too!
And so it begins. At the place where soccer is more intense than anywhere else in the world. Blue Lock.
Them and chase them more out of the feeling of fear than your ego meant nothing. That is why we got Rin. Rin is someone who was born talented. He wanted to be just like his brother. He wanted to be the best striker, just like his brother. But his brother's dream was also the same as his. He wanted to be a striker, and Rin loved his brother, so he said, go be the best striker. But was devastated when he returned. And he returned different, skinnier, paler. He followed his ego all the way to the world stage. But somewhere along the way in Spain, his dream vanished. His brother couldn't fathom it. He said, who are you? I don't know you. You're not my brother. You're not the one I shared a dream with. He shared his identity with his brother. His identity was becoming the best. When his brother's dream got crushed, so did his. And Sai, obviously seeing this, decided to not let his brother go through the same pain he did. So he beat him there and told him, don't ever play soccer because of me. We see that panel and we see it as he just destroyed Rin, but he was really protecting him from following others' dreams, to create his own dream. And that's the development we're seeing with Rin. As he goes through Blue Lock, he tries to imitate his brother, still clinging to the idea that he can be in his brother's shadow, that they can share the same dream together again. And if not as strikers, as midfielders. Of course, Ren wants to be a striker, but during the beginning, he played flawlessly. He played like Sai. The curved shots, the cold stare, the menacing aura. All Sai, never Ren. Because of his ego, he couldn't see. So, he stayed number one. He came all the way to the U20 match, where his sole purpose was to destroy Sai. And he did. He kicked the ball away, stopped him from getting past him. But in order to do that, he had to let go. Let go of his ego. Let go of wanting to share an ego with his brother. The whole destroyer mode was Ren letting go of him imitating Sai, of him trying to be Sai, of sharing the same dream as Sai. He said, I am Ren Itoshi, the egoist Ren Itoshi. Not the little brother of Sai Itoshi, the egoist Ren Itoshi. That is when we see his growth. When we've seen him kick the ball away. And even though we thought that's it, he beat him. He won. Only to realize Isagi was there. Now, why would he be angry, you ask? Why he beat Sai? He completed his dream. He let go of his ego with Sai and he won. That should be the end, right? No. See, when we grow up with people, we grow an attachment to them. Maybe it's your brother, your sister, your mom, anybody who has a long standing in your life. You grow attached to them, whether you know it or not. And when he beat Sai, he thought, finally, he'll acknowledge me. He'll share his dream with me, and we'll be together like old times. But when Sai crushed that yet again, and told him, I really thought Japan couldn't create any more strikers. And the one to awaken you to leave me and to be you was Isagi. He might be the one to grow this country. That broke Ren. And did Ren sit on it and think, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I need to stay my own person. No. He shifted his focus to Isagi. He said, if my brother cares more about you than me, then I will destroy you and everything that you are. That was the wrong choice. He shifted his ego from himself to Isagi, just like he did with Sai. He shifted him wanting to be the best with them being the best. That was the problem. And that's what we're seeing now. He's benched because he's following Isagi, whether he knows it or not. Whenever he activates his destroyer mode now, it's because of Isagi. It's not because of him wanting to be the best. It's him destroying Isagi and everything that he is. Because he's seen his brother's acknowledgement of Isagi as a threat. A threat to their dream. Now, that is the flaw in ego. Shifting your ego from yourself to others. Where you become dependent on their success to drive your ego. To drive your purpose. Now, does that happen with every character in Blue Lock? Of course not. I'm just using Ren as an example. Now, let's shift to Hugo, the number 2. His philosophy is interesting. He believes that a certain kind of people are number 1s and a certain kind of people are number 2s. That everyone is born with a certain aptitude, a certain set of innate skills that are to be used for a specific purpose. And that if everyone lived within their aptitudes, that their skills that they were born with allowed, everyone would live peacefully, happily, and there would be no problems and no conflicts. But what do you do if you're seemingly born with bad skills? You weren't as tall as anyone, you weren't as fast, as strong as a number one, but you weren't quite a number two. You maybe are smart, but not genius level smart. You are strong, but you're not a bodybuilder. What then? Then Hugo puts that into a category. He says number ones are the extraordinaries, the strikers of the world, the natural born geniuses. Like Loki, Bara, Batra. Geniuses are people born with innate talents and understand those talents innately and push their desires onto the world. And the world has no choice but to conform to their ideals. That is what makes a genius. Hugo believes this almost religiously, but he also believes there is another side. Because there are two sides to every coin. He believes there's another kind of people, talented learners, or number twos in his ideas. He believes those who aren't physically gifted to be strikers or geniuses are number twos. They're to push a number one further, to leech off of their winnings, to use their talents to help others grow, to help the number ones, the rightful geniuses, the gods of this world, to move them up. And we see it when he plays with Loki. When he describes Loki as a natural born number one, he describes him as a god, someone who rightfully should be the one to win the World Cup. Because he has no doubt in his mind or body that he is a number one, that he is the number one of the world, a body to back it up, and a mind that does not waver. That is what he believes. But also, the flaw. The flaw with the number two is he believes there's nothing outside of it. He believes he cannot grow past the number two box. When he says dream, but don't dream outside of yourself, he means don't dream past the box you've created for yourself. If you're a number two, don't dream of being a number one. And if you're a number one, don't droop to the level of a number two. He's automatically placing hierarchies upon his own self, categorizing himself as someone who has a set skill set that must be this way. The only way he can progress in this football is to be a number two and help a number one progress. Because if they progress, he progresses. That's what he believes. Is he wrong? On the grander scale, I believe, yes. Of course, on a human level, of course, he's not wrong. Everyone was born and is born with a set of skills. But does that mean they are placed in a box simply because those skills may not be extraordinary immediately? Because they weren't born a genius, does that mean they are worthless? Or forced to be born to help geniuses rise the ranks? Can they also not rise? In that their worth and value is only tied to increasing a number one's strength. Evolving them might evolve a number two. When he says you never seen a lion fly, he is describing something of simple biology. Of course, a lion cannot fly. It wasn't created to fly. And in its attempt to try and fly, it may die. So, why would he say this? He believes some people think, like the lion, that they are a lion, but they want to be a bird. So they try and fly, and of course, they die. He believes that people think too highly of themselves and should lower their expectations to avoid disappointment. That is a number two theory. And those that are number ones should continue to be number ones and allow number twos to make them greater. But he's also a man who wants to win 4 World Cups. So, how do you want to be a number two and lift a number one higher, but have such an insane ego? Well, because ego and philosophy are split down the middle. They aren't the same, they aren't one and the same, they're different. 2 separate things apart from one another, like a coin toss, heads or tails. 2 different sides, the same whole. The problem with ego's philosophy is you become too self-centered, too selfish in your own desires, to where you ignore everyone else. And Hugo's philosophy is you aren't selfish enough. Yes, you can be selfish. You can want to win things, dream, be big, grow strong. But you are capped because you put a block on yourself. You categorize yourself in a way that doesn't allow you to grow, besides helping someone else grow along with you. That is the problem with Hugo's philosophy. And when we think of these philosophies, if we take away the characters, who do we know has an Isagi-like mentality? Do you know someone who has a Hugo-like mentality of a number two? Do you have a number two mentality? Do you have a mentality of an egoist? Think about that.